Hello. Welcome to Nunnstop Gaming. My name is Aaron Nunnally. This is my inaugural video. I'm a huge fan of tabletop games like board games, card games. And so, after receiving a lot of encouragement from my wife, Christina, I've decided to start my own board game channel. So, if you like to watch gameplays or you just want to learn more about just games in general, welcome. A lot of my channel, I think, is going to be focusing on gameplays, but I may have other content added from time to time. I also want to give a shout out to Calvin. He's another gamer from the East Texas area. He has his own channel called Calvin's Got Game, and I encourage you to go visit his channel. He has a lot of content. So for this first video, I want to just talk about my journey. How did I get into board gaming? Now, when I say board gaming, I'm not talking about your Monopolies, your Yahtzees, your classics. Not that there's anything wrong with those games, but specifically we're talking about what is called hobby board gaming. A lot of these board games have come out recently, in the last 10, 20 years. A lot of people do not realize that every year hundreds of board and card games are released. And unfortunately, they don't get that much, I guess, advertisement, or a lot of people just not aware of them. And so I wanted to start this channel to introduce a lot of people to these type of games. Now, how did I get into these type of games? Well, for me, it started in college. From about 2006 to 2012, I attended the University of Texas at Arlington. And during my time there, I was briefly a part of this gamers group. And every once in a while, they would have a tabletop game day. And one game that caught my attention, I'd never heard of it, and I played it and just loved it, was called Flux. It's just a little card game, but in this game, it starts with some very basic rules, and the rules are always changing. I thought this game was really cool, so I found a local comic bookstore who had the game and purchased it. Now, that was my first exposure to hobby board gaming. Now, of course, in college, I don't have much money, so I can't really spend a lot of money on board gaming. So it wasn't until after I got a job starting in 2017 that I started purchasing board and card games. My first purchase after I was hired was a game called Pandemic. Very, very popular cooperative game. And just slowly over time, I built up my board game collection. Now, if you are new to this and you're just unsure of where to start, you may be asking, well, what game should I play first? This is a very tricky question to answer. Take Flux, for instance. That game was responsible for at least introducing me to the hobby. I've taught that game to a large number of people. Some people have loved it, some were indifferent to it, and some just outright hated it. So it's really difficult to list some games and say, these are the ones you ought to play first, because you may or may not like those games. Ideally, I would want to know, okay, what have you played already, and did you enjoy them? Have you played Monopoly? What did you like or dislike about it? Yahtzee, Life, so on and so forth. Or just what kind of themes and genres do you like? Not just in board gaming, just in general. Do you like nature? Do you like sci-fi? That would be very beneficial in helping someone like me recommend a board game to you. Does the idea of having a very thematic game appeal to you? Or do you like strategy? Are you like one of those chess, checkers type of players that you like being able to... luck is not... You do not like luck. You want to be able to play your game and know that you lost because you did not play well as the other person, or you won not because of luck, but because you played better. Now, with all that being said, I did pick out 5 games that, at least in my experience, when I have brought these games out, even to people who are either new or have not played very many board games, these have gone very well. And if these sound good, I recommend purchasing them. Yes, you could go online. Now, as a huge tabletop gaming fan, I would highly recommend checking out a local board game store if you have one. Now, I will admit, yes, these will be more expensive than what you can find on Amazon. I think there's something nice about supporting a local business. At least in my experience, there's not that there's anything wrong with purchasing online through Amazon. Personally, I like supporting the local businesses, knowing that I'm keeping them in business so that they can also build the gaming community. And one other appeal also of local game stores is you can actually go there in person, pick up the physical board game itself, and look at it. Some of them may even have games for you to demo and try out. So for me, I live in the East Texas area, and so 2 of my favorite game stores are Three Sons Unlimited in Longview, Texas, and Geek World in Tyler, Texas. I've been there to each one a number of times. I've purchased multiple games from them. So if you're from this area of Texas, I highly recommend that you check them out. The first game I would recommend that has gone over very well for me is a card game called Take 5. In this game, players are given a hand of 10 cards. They're numbered 1 through 104, and the idea is sort of like hearts. You don't want to get points in this game. Now, the points are not those numbers I just mentioned, 1 through 104, but rather each of these cards has a number of bull symbols on them. Those are the points. So what's going to happen is you're going to have a hand of cards, and you're going to pick a card to play. You're going to place it face down in front of you. Each player will do that, and then simultaneously we will flip the cards over and add them to this tableau of cards. Now, you'll have to go in numeric order, playing them next to the card that they are closest to. Now, here's the thing. Each row can only hold 5 cards. So if you play a card that would end up being the 6th card in a row, you are forced to replace that entire row with the card you played, and then you take those 5 cards, you set them aside, and you will earn the points depicted on those cards. And this will continue until someone reaches a certain number of points, and then whoever has the lowest score wins. Another very popular game. In fact, this is becoming, if it's not already, a modern classic that I continue to enjoy is Ticket to Ride. Most of the turns are pretty simple. You draw cards to form different sets of different colors. It's kind of a rummy-like game mechanism. Now, when you create these sets and you want to turn them in, this will allow you to claim certain train routes on a map. And that the longer the route, the more points you earn. Now, what also makes it even interesting, because everyone is playing on the same map, so certain routes will be claimed first, and once someone claims that route, no one else can claim that route. And so it's a matter of, yes, you want to build up your hand of cards so you can turn them in and claim these routes, but you want to claim the routes before someone else gets them. Added to the strategy is the fact that everyone has some what are called destination cards. Basically, it just has a route that by the end of the game, you need to be able to trace your trains from one point on the map to another. And if you're able to do that, you get the points. If you don't, you lose those points. So it adds a lot of nice tension, and it's a very simple game as well. So if you like strategy, but you don't want something that's just overly difficult to learn, I highly recommend Ticket to Ride. The next one, now, earlier I mentioned themes. If you are a nature person, if you love the idea of nature, you may not be aware that there are a lot of board and card games out there that are centered around nature. And one of the most popular ones is a game called Cascadia. In this game, you're basically creating the environment, the Cascade environment, while adding animals to your environment. So what happens on your turn? There's going to be 4 pairs of items out in the board. So you'll pick one habitat with the animal token that is next to it, and you're going to add it to your habitat. You want to put, ideally, you would want to put the same type of habitats next to each other so you can create large habitats and score points at the end of the game. But also the animal tokens. Animal tokens have to go on specific tiles, and you earn points at the end of the game for putting them in specific formations. Tea break. Oh, that's good. So, for instance, bears like to be in pairs. And so, if every pair of bears where there are 2 bears next to each other and no other bears next to them will earn you points. Now, one very popular game that has, or popular type of game, is cooperative games. A lot of people may not realize that not all games are about you versus me. I had that backwards. But rather, it's us working together against the game. And a very popular game that has gone over very well is a game called Bomb Busters. It's kind of has a Go Fish style of gameplay. Players win by defusing a bomb. You will have your own set of wires. They're numbered 1 through 12, and there's 4 of each kind. And the idea is you want to be able to cut matching wires. If you mess up too many times, the bomb will explode. Or if you cut the dreaded red wire, the bomb will explode. So adds a lot of tension to the game, but it's sort of like, it has a very similar gameplay to Go Fish, so it's not a difficult game to learn. It's gone over very well, and so if the idea of this game appeals to you, then I highly recommend it. The last game I want to discuss, it's another cooperative game called So Clover. Now, in this case, you're not necessarily working together against the game, but rather everyone is basically creating a puzzle, and then everyone is working together to solve the puzzle. So in each game, all the players are going to place 4 cards randomly on their clover boards and write down one-word clues on each side. And the goal of each game, you're trying to write a word that ties together the two cards underneath the clover leaves. Then when finished, each player removes the cards from their board and shuffles them with an extra card. Then, one at a time, the table tries to figure out the puzzle on each board by putting the correct cards in the right positions based solely on the one-word clues provided by the player. So that the player who created that puzzle, they can't make any noises or give any hints, none of that. What you wrote, the clues you wrote down, that's it that the other players have to go on. It is just a great game for those who like puzzles, whether it's creating them or solving them with other people. And it can also produce a lot of laughs when you try to figure out why certain clues were written given the cards that are there. So those are 5 games that I highly recommend. Again, each person is different. Not everyone will enjoy these games, but I know just personal experience, these 5 games have gone over very well from the for those um, who are new to the hobby or haven't played very many games. So I'm hoping you can use my channel to find something that you might enjoy. So thank you for watching this first video from Nunnstop Gaming. God bless you and have fun gaming.